Hey, what's up? It's Barney.
It's Dan.
And we're here for another episode of A Bit Spursy.
Why are we getting so many yellow cards this season?
Why is Bissouma addicted to red cards?
What was Dejan Kulusevski's baby celebration all about?
Why has Romero started a new partnership?
And what's really going on at Son's Cafe?
What's really going on at Son's Cafe? How are you? Good? Are you good? Oh, so pleased to hear. That's awesome. Well, it's Barney here.
And also I'm here too. I was really hoping that those questions were directed at me, Barney, but then...
Say your name.
Oh, Dan. Hello.
Yeah.
That's how I get the conversation. Just I have to say Dan.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, they were directed not at you, Dan.
Yep.
They were directed at the listener or watcher of this podcast.
Okay. Well, one day, hopefully I can get upgraded.
I'm not going to ask you how you are.
I know you don't care. That's why.
I don't give a shit.
I've come to terms with that now.
I get on this. We start this podcast and I go, let's do it. You try and ask me and I go, shh.
Yeah. Why weren't you here earlier?
This is the time we agreed to. If you arrive on time, you're late.
Yeah. Behind the scenes of A Bit Spursy.
Yeah.
It's great.
I am psycho. Dan, we have another win to discuss.
Yeah. A beautiful win. Would you call it a beautiful win?
No,
it probably wasn't a beautiful win, but it was like just a nice win. Still, I think all things considered. Against potential relegation fodder, like, let's be honest. But I mean, still.
Yeah. What I like is that we beat them, their manager got sacked, and then we cursed them with our manager that we had for 10 games. Well, was it 10? 10 games?
I think 10. Yeah. I think 10. Wow, Nuno is back.
He's back.
It's like the reverse El Sakiko.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God, that was funny. El Sakiko.
He did get sacked after El Sakiko, right? It was...
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the game that he took Lucas off and everyone booed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like, deep down, it's like, I still don't think Nuno's necessarily a bad manager overall, but just like not a good manager for us in terms of... I don't even know how he's gone at Al Ittihad, and I don't know if they like bought him out of the contract there or if he got sacked from there.
He got sacked.
Oh, he got sacked.
He actually, I think he won the league, and then, like, what was it? 6 months later, they were like 7th maybe, and they sacked him.
Oh right, there we go.
I love Saudi Arabian football.
So wild, wild. But yeah, there, Forest. Who I read somewhere, or like maybe I heard on the commentary, but they're apparently called the Tricky Trees. Have you heard that before?
I did hear that on the commentary, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I'd never heard that before. The Tricky Trees.
The Tricky Trees. Like, what does that even mean?
It sounds like a nickname that they made up on the spot. Like, if the Premier League's like, all right, everyone, official nicknames, get them in. What do you have? And Tottenham like, Spurs, not Lily Whites, whatever.
Yeah.
And Forest are just like, shit, we forgot.
We forgot about this.
What do we do?
Oh, you said something good the other night at the pub. What was it? Is it something to do like, nope, don't worry. I was going to say, is it like a Robin Hood thing? But he doesn't, there's the Sheriff of Nottingham in that, right?
Yeah, the Sheriff of Nottingham and then the Sherwood Forest.
Yeah.
Sherwood Forest.
The worst forest in the world.
Just absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
I do wonder, I'm just looking now if Forest have association with Robin Hood. I don't know what I'm hoping to find there. Like, it comes up that it's like, well, one of the first owners of the club was actually Robin Hood.
Robin Hood himself.
And he was investing everything he stole, he invested back into the football club.
Wow. Yeah, that would be great. I'm still stuck on the idea of a Sherwood Forest where all the trees have like a you know, in Game of Thrones, the tree that the Starks pray at has the face. I'm imagining that hundreds of them, all Sherwood, and they all just say like pretty blatantly, but maybe on the scale of things, mild misogynistic statements.
Yeah, followed up by, I introduced Harry Kane.
Yeah.
We gave Harry Kane his chance.
Yeah, that was me.
That was me. That was me.
Mm.
This sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, that is a horrific image. Yeah.
That's what you find with the tricky trees of the
tricky trees.
Sherwood Forest, Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Well, look, onto the game. We've mentioned that we didn't think it was beautiful, but it's like, you know, job done. One red card on the way. Just add that into the mix. Just you know what? Let's just have Bissouma out until Feb. Like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Let's sprinkle that in.
Yeah, why not? Why not? You know, we're already plugging holes with Decky playing in midfield. Why not just rip the whole thing up and put people in positions that you'd maybe... Not to say Decky hasn't been good in the centre of the park, which I've been calling for years. So, tick to me. But, yeah, why not just mix everyone around?
Yeah. Just keep giving people goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Bissouma's just like, you know what? I just want to give other people a go.
Yeah, that's what he did. That's why he did it. What a hero. Wow. I was so annoyed.
Well, yeah. It was weird. I definitely was a little bit annoyed, but I was also just kind of like, at this stage, I mean, just add it to the list. But I think then upon reflection later, it was more annoying because, I mean, we're already up 2-0 at that stage.
Yeah. But
very
why not?
needless. Very needless.
Yeah, it just... if you hear clicking right now, listener, it's me wanting to watch it again.
To be able to channel that emotional rage in.
Yeah, I want to be able to bring it back. Oh, no. Here we go. Okay. Oh, it's a voiceover. Dan, this is chaos. I don't want this.
That's totally fine.
It's an American voiceover. Decky's standing and yelling. What? That's not the incident.
You've just been, I guess, clickbaited into a completely different video.
Okay. I've seen it. Yeah, right. What is he doing?
The thing is, like, he doesn't even really get, like, he gets him, but it's like, it wasn't like a punishment tackle, which, like, Yates as well, like, before, can we just chat, like, especially at the start of the game, he's persistent fouling on Son and Williams as well. And he gave like Son a little knee to the head, I think, at some stage too. No cards, no nothing.
No.
And we spoke about this last week, and like the commentators were going, it's like, oh, what a leader he is, so hardworking, all this. And I'm like, this guy's just a rat. Like, I mean, all of these challenges he's making, like, they're not good. And this is the sort of player that, like, he should be on a yellow card in the first 5 minutes, which then kind of, you do that to him, and then he's not a Premier League footballer. So, but it's like they just let that go. And I don't know if he ended up getting a yellow card at the end of the game. I think he maybe did later on, but it was just like, I just don't understand again how that, like, this persistent fouling is just totally fine. It's just so frustrating to play against it.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I mean, Man City are the masters, but Yates really did use it to good effect here, where it's like, are you trying to play on the ref where you constantly foul, but in a sort of not an egregious way, so that every time it happens, the ref's like, okay, well, not quite worth a yellow card. Like, but it's like, how many can you commit? It's meant to be 3, right? Or around 3.
I think it's like an unwritten rule of like roughly, because the refs will kind of go to them, they're like, well, you've had 1 or 2 or 3 there. What, you've had a couple. And then, or like, if players do foul, they go up to the ref and they're like, oh, come on, ref, first one. Come on. Just chill out. It's first one.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite is, and this is only for people watching, where they go, it's 1, 1, 1. And they go up to the ref, and if the ref gives them a yellow, they go,
Just a
Stick their
giant
lip out.
shrug.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He also, I think, a couple of times he went to the ref and signaled the yellow card for when we tackled,
Yeah, which
and
is a
each
card.
of those should be a yellow card in itself.
Mm.
Nothing given.
Yep. Yep.
I think I've got written down here, it was for Romero's tackle on Kouyaté plus another time. Actually, I don't have the other one, but it's like I hate this player so much. I hate this guy.
I wonder, like, there are a lot of rules, okay?
Mhm.
And sitting at home, you're not running around, but my memory for those rules is pretty good. So when someone does the yellow, I'm like, well, they should get a card. I'm like, well, that's a card. Doesn't happen. It's like the refs are like, I can only choose 10 rules to enforce in this game. The rest? Oh, well.
So it's like before the game, they sitting down, they have a little checklist of like 100 rules, and then they're able to select the 10 that they want to go with on the day.
Yeah. Pick 10.
Pick 10. Oh shit! I've left offside out of it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Which is what happened in the game with us against Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. That's the explanation. They recorded that audio afterwards just because they didn't want the 10 rule thing to get out.
Exactly. But we obviously have the inside scoop, so we know that it is 10 rules max.
10 rules max.
Yeah.
It's still quite a lot of rules. Like, you should be able to get through most of the game with 10 rules, I think.
Yeah. But still causes controversy, but that's all they can do. So
yeah. All right. So good on you, ref. Well done.
Great job. On the Bissouma, like, it's such a bad... I don't think it's malicious, but it's such a crap tackle / attempt to win the ball, where it's like not even near the ball. It's like, why even... I mean, sure, that's part of Bissouma and who Bissouma is and what he's like as a player, but it looks so dumb now that I've watched it again. Like, just so painfully dumb.
Yeah, and it's really just like in the whole context of the game and where we were. So, like, if that tackle had happened in, say, the 5th minute after Yates had like been persistently fouling Son and some of our other players, and then I understand if someone on this team's like, "No, I'm going to go in with a crunching tackle here. I want to send a message to like quiet this person down a little bit." Not that I'm condoning that you go and try and break someone's leg or something, but like, you know, that's the sort of like enforcer's tackle that's like, "Oi, back in your box, you settle down." But for that to happen when we're 2-0 up, and like, I still think looking like pretty comfortable with the game. And again, it's like, it was just very weird. It was almost like someone was playing FIFA and they've just come through and they've accidentally pressed the button, but they haven't pressed the button that hard, but they pressed it enough that the player's gone like, whoop, and like lashed down and kicked, but without like a huge amount of emotion or intent or anything behind it. Like, it was just bizarre.
Yeah. Real weird. Sorry to everyone listening. That would be horrible in your headphones. On the card situation, there is there's been a sort of, here in Australia, a bit of a like Ange's biggest challenge, Mark Schwarzer said, former Chelsea and Fulham keeper, is to get these players in line, get these players, you know, stopping them from getting cards, because we have 4 red cards. We have 4 cards, 4 Christmas cards, 4 red cards, which is equal first, right, with Liverpool. Already, you can probably see where I'm going with this, where nobody is saying Liverpool, the biggest challenge for Klopp is getting these players to not foul. It's like, no, it's Ange's biggest, issue, when actually we've had equal amount of red cards to another team that's very successful. And I find it very ironic, Dan, that, Tottenham has always been known as soft underbelly. They'll roll over, once the going gets tough. They don't get stuck in, all those stereotypes. And then when you have a team that is committing fouls and getting cards, all of a sudden it's like, big issue. It's almost like you were saying, get back in your box. Like, no, you're not allowed to be like this. That's not the identity. That's not the narrative that the media portrays this team as. And so it's a problem when it's like, well, it's not actually a problem because the team that's on top have the same amount of red cards.
Yeah, totally. And you could also argue that, like, without just getting completely defensive about our red cards here, but you could argue that, like, a majority of our red cards were kind of a little bit rough to happen. Like the Romero one, let's not go into it again, but there have been way worse challenges in the league from other players who haven't got, I think, even yellows. Or some have been yellow carded, but that's one of those. Like Bissouma's first card for simulation, when he got sent off against Luton, like, that was not a good, wise thing to do. But also, we see simulation all the time, and players don't get yellow cards for it.
Yeah.
So a little bit unlucky there. You doggy, his red against Chelsea, fair. Not going to defend that, but also, you know, young player. I'm happy for that to happen on occasion. This one was probably the first one where I was just like, this is just needless. But at the end of the day, it's like, to bring players under control. It's like, it's not like we've had like 4 leg breaking challenges, or 4 extremely violent moves, which have led to these scenarios. It's like, I just see like kind of a young team learning how to play at the intensity that Ange wants them to play at for the whole game. Because like Ange's whole thing is like, he wants us to keep that intensity going. And he doesn't then want players just to like chill out for the last 20, 30 minutes. He wants to bring in subs so we can still keep that up.
Yeah.
So I just see it as like, you know, it will be challenging to try and play at that intensity for the whole game, try and press for the whole game, all that sort of stuff. And there's going to be some adjustment with that. And we've got a young squad, and these things are going to happen.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not an issue. Like, basically. The same article, which is on Fox Sports, which quotes Schwarzer the whole way through it, says Spurs have also been handed equal third most yellow cards this season, with 46, right? So we have 46, which is equal third. They're correct. Sheffield are first with 52.
Yep.
So, okay, that's 6 more. Chelsea have 4 more with 50. Then we're drawn with Brighton. The next team, we're tied, or is that the word I'm looking for? Because Wolverhampton also have 46. And then the teams underneath, Villa 45, West Ham 42. So there's a bit of a gap between everyone and Sheffield.
Yeah.
But then also everyone else around us, like, it's all pretty close. It's a nothing. It's a slow news day. Need to write something.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And like, again, like coming back to this, like there are so many fouls I think that happen against us in games that don't get called.
Yeah.
Like the Crystal Palace game was another. I sound like I'm so salty about all these results here. It's like, I'm not really, but just like, if we're looking at it, like they're objectively, like teams have come out and tried to foul us to slow our game down and have not been carded for it. So I just think by the time that we actually get our yellow cards, it's like a little bit later in the game and we kind of mean it a bit more, and then they're getting called. Whereas it's so not a thing. Like there's so many yellow cards flying around in general in the league. Like you say, slow news day.
Slow news day. But it's funny to me that, if you read these articles, like obviously Twitter or X is a hellscape where people see it and just explode. But like when you actually read them, you're like, well, obviously, like this is so inconsequential as a as a fact. Like, why are they even bothering to report this? Because someone, staff writer at Fox Sports, had nothing to do, and then someone said you need to produce an article by the end of the day, so they went looking.
And they're like, I don't have any contacts over it. I can't call anyone. I'm on the other side of the world. How am I supposed to report something here? It's like, just look at the stat page on PremierLeague.com. I don't know.
Yeah.
Work something out.
Yeah. Don't use any of those good stats websites. Just go on the Premier League one and just kind of, go nuts.
Yeah, it looks nice. All right, it looks nice. It's my favourite stats. It looks nice.
The other sort of, well, it was a couple of weeks ago now, but Jonathan Liu, I don't know if that's how you say, or Liu, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the head football writer now at the Guardian?
Could be, yeah.
He made some comments about Ange, which in Australia anyway, the media went berserk on, because we already feel as Australians in football, there's already this like inferiority complex. And so if someone who's part of establishment media like Johnny Boy is, we're going to flip out as soon as it happens. But what I loved about it was he's since sort of come out and responded. So at the time, if you don't know, he said the 58-year-old he names him weird. Ages him. 58-year-old he claims that he's telling bullshit. I'm not having Ange Postecoglou as a coach. I can't stand him.
Wait, this is the reporter.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
He comes across as a lovely man. All of the people saying he's great, saying he's a great bloke. Nobody knows him. All you know about him are the little 45-second clips that come from his press conferences or that turn up on your Twitter feed every week. Honestly, it's such bullshit. Right.
But this is okay. Hang on, sorry. You're not exaggerating here. These are words that.
These are quotes.
These are quotes. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. So he says this. What we're seeing now and what we're going to see over the medium and long term is that Spurs are going to regress. They are nowhere near title contenders. They don't have a coach or a squad that's going to get them anywhere near the title race. He said Postecoglou's charm as a doe-eyed outsider to the English football hegemony doesn't ring true. He's able to sell authenticity. It doesn't ring true to me. I don't think it's remotely sustainable. Right. So he basically goes bananas.
So you're saying Ange is just a giant charlatan, and this is just all an absolute facade, and he's really just some evil dude.
Yeah. So he went nuts, and then after it got brought up to him, and he was like, "I was doing a bit." I take sports journalism very seriously. Very seriously. I don't take talking that seriously. It's like, well, you kind of need to talk to be a sports journalist, and you're on the Guardian's Football Weekly as a journalist, bro. So, I don't really know. It's fascinating.
He's like, recently, look, I've done a 5-part stand-up course, and this is the material I'm working on. They said, work with what you know, and football is what I know.
Yeah.
And I just got confused, and I just got in my comedy lane, and I just went for it.
It's so fascinating. The fact that he says, I take football journalism very seriously, and then the next quote is, it was a bit. It's like, are you for real?
Yeah, obviously not that serious. If you're throwing bits in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Can you imagine if that happened? Ange mid-game just makes a wild sub. He brings on Skip for Son or something in the 12th minute. Yeah. And then they're like, Ange, so why did you make that change? It's like, oh, boys, come on, you're not that dumb. It was a bit, clearly. Clearly it was a bit. But Ange, you lost 3-0. Well, come on, it was a bit. I was committing to the bit.
That's funny.
That's really funny. We laughed about that at halftime, boys.
Yeah.
Good.
And so he said it's all part of a bit, and he said, I did this bit on a live show. And then he says that he blames Max Rushton for getting him to do it on the podcast because it's out of context, and then people clip it and post it in bad faith on the internet. Nothing. I've listened to it and obviously read the transcript of it. I don't understand really how the quotes are taken. The guys, before every one of those, if you listen to the interview, I'm like, I love Ange. he's great, and then say what you said afterwards. It's
It's just, it's so funny. It's like, do you say The Guardian? Is that who he works for?
Yeah.
It's like their PR department or something. It's like, all right, new rule. We just say everything's a bit if we get dragged for any story that goes out. If we get something wrong, if we do something silly, it's just you just have to say it's a bit. It's a hack, and that lets you off the hook, and everyone stands up and starts applauding you for your commitment to comedy.
Also, none of it's funny.
Yeah.
Like like it needs to be funny to be a bit. No.
Just to be like, oh, they're going to drop off for the title race.
Yeah.
Good gag, right? Hey, boys, what do you reckon? Good gag?
Yeah. So dumb.
So bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah. You had on our run sheet hashtag. We've also skipped. It's Yates stuff. It's all Yates.
It's Yates stuff. I guess one more thing from the game was do you see? I think Spurs and the Premier League, one of them put up a reel, and it was showing after Decky scored, where he scored the goal, and then you see like Richarlison just booting the ball into the heavens, and then Decky's looking around trying to find the ball to do this little like I assume baby tummy celebration. Yeah. Can't find the ball, so he does his like LeBron James like I forget what it's called, but like the silencer or whatever it is. So he just does that. And then Richarlison goes and gets another ball off the ball boy, gives it back to Decky, who then puts it under his top and does the little baby thing. So I assume Decky and his partner are expecting a child, or a friend had a child, or a family member or something like that.
Is that what it... Because I've always been puzzled by this. Is that what it is meant to kind of symbolize?
I've always assumed that. Whether I've got that completely wrong and it's just like... It's just an insult calling everyone like the other team babies or something.
Right.
But I've always thought that it's to do with something like, baby, I want to pay homage to that, so I'm going to do a little baby celebration with the ball in the belly. But I just love the idea that like Decky scored this goal. He's Richarlison's booted, and he's like, hey, Richie, I need the ball to do the celebration. Like, what am I supposed to do now? And then Richie's like, hey, don't worry, I'll go get off the ball boy. Don't worry, like it's fine. And so it's like this is all happening mid-celebration during a game where you're just supposed to be losing it.
Unreal. Yeah, we choreograph this, man. Come on, go get it. See, I'm glad that that's the case, because I've always assumed it was like, I'm pregnant with goals, which...
I much prefer that. And then they have to like get down and give birth to the goals.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah,
that's the idea. I mean, there's probably another interpretation. If you know, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to run with I'm pregnant with goals.
Yeah, pregnant with goals is more the thing now. So therefore, Decky was saying to Richie, like, hey, mate, I'm pregnant with goals.
Yeah.
I've got to do the pregnant with goals celebration because I'm scoring. People were saying I've got to start contributing more. But like, look, I've scored a few goals. It's happening. I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Come on, man. I need this.
It's like it just feels like a weird team talk that got taken the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like where Andrew's just like, now boys, like you forward line, what are you thinking about goals all the time, nonstop? It's like you're going to be pregnant with goals, right?
Yeah.
Complete pregnant, like taking goals to full term. That's what I want with you to do. That's what I want. And that's like taking it away, and they've gone like, oh, okay. And they're actually doing their best to make that happen.
The idea of Ange saying, all right, forward line, I want you guys to, get in that mindset. I want you to think I'm pregnant with goals. Is so funny.
I want you vomiting every day. I want you vomiting up your lunch. Morning sickness is going to kick in. That's what I want to happen. I don't want to see you keeping anything down at the training ground, because then I'll know that you're not pregnant with goals.
I would pay quite a lot of money for a clip of Ange saying, come on, boys, be pregnant with goals. Like, that is sickening.
Well, it's like he's got to keep it up. Like, you've had, like, I think players like Kulusevski, like maybe Bissouma, maybe even Destiny as well. They've all spoken about how great Ange is at, like, motivating people. And if he's got to do that, like, all the time, like day in, day out, before games, halftime, all that sort of stuff, he's got to be throwing in fresh metaphors constantly.
Yeah. Spicing things up.
maybe that like they just thought like he's at like, the 8-year in spell now because he goes through so many metaphors. He's already into the absolute crazy territory.
Yeah.
And I just hope it just continues. Boys,
I hope so
I want
too.
you to be just constipated with goals. The only way you can get him out is just to poo out those goals.
Let's smuggle those goals in as if we've got a little something in a boogie board bag going into Bali.
Yeah, you've been into Denpasar. It's tight security there. Tight security.
Just lost his mind.
It's lost his mind, but hey, look, whatever works. Hopefully, Decky has twins, triplets. He becomes Octodad soon.
Octodad. Yeah. I think he will.
Yeah, I think he will. He's looking up for it. Yeah, something caught my mind outside of the games this week was I was just having a look around on Instagram, and I understand a lot of the players have like agencies and just I don't know, just probably freelance social media people who just take care of their posts. But it's just funny how just some of the things that they say. So like Destiny, all of his posts, he only has one hashtag, which is blessed.
Hell yeah.
And his bio on Instagram just says blessed as well. So it's very, very simple brand there. Vicario's got, it's a long one, which is like one negociobilmente, which I don't know exactly what that means, but then it says living the dream and then hashtag number 13. He's got those for every single one.
Okay.
Romero's, he doesn't use the same hashtags, but he's always talking about together. So he'll be like every single post finishes with all together always. We're always together. Hey, great result. Always together. Oh, wow. This was a beautiful pizza we had. All together always. Like it's very, very much stuck to his branding.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. One thing then that caught my eye on like Cootie's Instagram is a partnered a sponsorship that he has where it's a collaboration with a watch company. So he's pictured having a new watch, and then they're selling an NFT, which is 30 days of Cootie wearing the watch and writing a very personal journey. A very personal journal linked to his watch. So he's got this watch diary, and you'll have to like. And the only way you can get it is if you bid for the NFT and you win it, and then the one person will win a 30-day diary from Romero about his watch, which I think is just one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen.
Wait, so it's not just a personal diary about what he's up to. It's a personal diary for 30 days about the watch.
Yeah. It says he documents his daily life in the NFT diary of his watch. Only the purchaser of this watch will be able to read his personal diary. It also comes with a personalized gift, an autographed shirt.
What?
But I'm just like, what is he like? What's his diary going to be about? Is it just going to be like, Thursday, 15th of December, time still ticking? Wow, what a beautiful piece of craftsmanship that's still on my wrist for another morning.
A classic timepiece.
Classic timepiece. Wore it in the shower this morning. Got through it really well. Dried off nicely.
In the screenshot you've put in, there's already been 8 bids.
Yeah, and this was a few days ago. And this was for CHF 3000, which I think is... look, let's put that in to Australian dollars, which is over $5,000 Australian.
What is CHF? What currency?
I think that's Swiss.
Okay.
I think that's Swiss, and that's 3,500 US. So it's like decent money to pay for a journal about a watch.
Yeah, that's incredible.
You don't even get the watch. It's an NFT. It's a digital thing, right? So it's kind of in some ways bullshit. You just get access to a series of Romero's notes app where it's just him with a few daily notes about his watch and how it's going.
That's banana. I mean, I wonder whether, with the Apple Watch, if you want to write on it, you can draw letters. I wonder if it's that where it's like he's like, good GOOD, good day. Like,
and that's literally it, because the time it'll take to do that, that's all that Romero has time for. So you even
exactly.
think you're buying this journal, and you just get 30 words effectively. It's his word of the day that he's written onto the watch about the watch as well.
That's mental.
It's just bizarre. It's just so bizarre. Like, I really like the crossovers with people where athletes and stuff, where it's like it fits the character of the person for whatever the thing is. I would not have gone Romero journaling about his watch. Like, that's just bizarre. I saw another one that went up, which was Harry Kane, and I think Google have partnered up with him. And it's for Bard, the AI, basically Google's AI. And it's Harry Kane types in, like, my name's Harry Kane. I want a new goal celebration. What should I do? And then it supposedly suggests a few things for him. And it's like, Harry Kane Googling something? Yeah, fair. Like, maybe I see that a little bit more. I understand it, but this I don't. Having said that, like, I was a little bit disappointed in the Kane one, because the celebrations were like, the first one was like, use a magic wand like you've conjured up a goal.
Oh.
And then I think one was like, go to the corner flag and shine your golden boot. And then the third one was like hurricane, and it was like, go, like, after you scored, put your arms out and spin around in a circle.
He better do that one.
He didn't enact that one out in the video either, which I was a little bit disappointed about.
I reckon if Harry Kane gets dizzy, he dies.
Yeah, it's
like so he can't do that one.
So, hey, Harry, we've already filmed the first bit. Can you just do the celebration? We can get out of here. It's like, no.
That's lethal to me.
It's so lethal. They call me Hurricane. They call me Hurricane, like, ironically.
Yeah, I'm at the eye of the storm where it's calm.
Yeah, everyone, you all run around me. That would actually be, to be fair, that would be a sick celebration if, like, Kane scored a goal and then the rest of the team have to start running around him like they're getting caught up in a hurricane.
Or like,
just gradually getting faster and faster and just falling over and running into each other.
Have you seen any of those clips of, like, the weird turkey circles where the turkeys, like, get trapped in and they run around in circles and circles and circles?
No, wait, are these actual turkeys?
Yeah, real turkeys. So what I'm saying is, imagine if he scores and then they let the turkeys out and the turkeys come and then start running around him in circles.
So Harry Kane scored at the Allianz Arena.
Yeah.
And then you just hear as, like, the turkeys are just let out from all corners of the ground.
Yeah. And they end up in a sort of this turkey hypnotic circle.
Yeah. And then in Germany, they're like, yeah, great celebration. Sounds really cool.
Oh, yes. That's very festive, that one.
Yeah. Amazing. I would love to see, like, I mean, we've had some play, like, we've spoken about Decky with his celebrations, which he's done the LeBron one a couple of games in a row now. So he's declaring his love and allegiance there. But I would love to just see, like, just some wild celebrations, like nonsensical, just ones that, like, you watch and, like, the whole stadium just, like, kind of comes to, like, a standstill and silence because the celebration just goes on, and it's just so bizarre. Like, the ref doesn't even card them for over celebrating because they're so confused as to what's happening.
Yeah, like the day in the life of a tax accountant, like that. Like, get up, like, brushing teeth, have some breakfast, open the car door, get in, drive. Like, it goes for so long. Great time waster.
Absolute beautiful time waster, and it's just known for, like, you score a late goal, and it's like, well, okay, it's a 10-minute celebration commences.
Yeah.
So, I guess to tie this into the Forest game, well, like, why do you get a yellow card if you did a celebration like that? Yet in this, we had the long balls coming out again, and the ball boys coming with the towels, drying them off. Everyone coming up the pitch, taking like a minute to get ready for a throw in. It's very selective when you get penalized for time wasting or over celebrating or things like that.
It's one of those ones that's clearly very dependent on the crowd, I think, where, refs are meant to be impartial, but if, the home team is having time wasted against them, it's much more likely that the visiting team is going to get carded because the crowd's going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, that's true. Is you never get the home team going like, "Oh, okay, boys, we're up. We don't need a time waste. Come on." Boo! I want to see more football.
Yeah. I want my money's worth. Every kick, I want a nice breakdown. I paid £75 for this ticket. Every kick needs to be 50 pence at least. I mean, that would be barely any kicks, but yeah.
There's probably what, like in a game, 1,000 kicks, roughly.
Yeah.
So
that's what you're paying for.
That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
And you do have someone there in the corner of the stadium with the ledger, ticking them off.
Yeah. Saying how good a value the game was.
Only if they get past 1,000. It's great value game. That's great.
Oh, that's
value.
really nice. Yeah, that's really done well for me.
How was the game today, love? I saw the team won.
Great value. Great value.
Oh, great. With the goals. All right. Love it.
No, it was 0-0. But the kicking was out of control.
I was so many kicks.
I was paying 10p a kick.
Graham, I think we're going to have a chat. I'm leaving you.
Kick me.
No, you're not going to add that to the ledger.
Come on.
No, darling.
All right, love. No probs. Well, I'm off to bed.
This sounds like, it's like we're 20 years into the future. And it's like, how can we eke even more money out of this sport?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I guess gambling, they'd be like, how many kicks in the game? Over, under 1,000. Bet on that.
You pay a base rate of £20, but then an extra £1 for every kick that happens.
Unless you go to see Bolton, because if they're still going those big long balls, you're only going to be getting about 10 kicks a game. So they're about £50 each.
Yeah. Should we do some questions?
Yeah, we've got a couple of questions. Actually, the last thing I just want to quick cover off. Have you seen Son's cafe? He's got a cafe at his training ground in Korea.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I saw an article that popped up about this, which was from one of our beloved Korean publications that we, always just have such like fun write-ups for like what they say. And it was like kind of like outrage over pricing for Son's infield cafe at his training ground. And then the article goes in and it starts talking about like it's not at a touristy place. It's like it's at a training ground. It's out in it's not really near anywhere, but it's a very, very schmick cafe. But then it's like the outrage was like the surprise that it wasn't expensive.
Oh.
And so it's like, whoa, so surprising that they only charge $5 for a latte.
I love that.
And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And I just love the idea of like people going in there and like coming like, oh, we've come all the way from like Vancouver to visit this. We better be expecting to pay $15-$20 for a mock.
$5?
Get your bags for going out of here.
Sonny, you've done it again. You are the most charitable, kind, golden god.
Absolute. Like it just makes me love Son even more to see like, yeah, this stylish as hell cafe just charging scrappings. Anyone can come in and have a thing.
I'm confused by the bio on the Instagram. It's hard to keep pets company.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I feel like that's probably a lost in translation type thing.
And then the next is outsiders not allowed on the football field.
Yeah, it's a very like kind of aggressive.
I don't understand. This is a cafe, and they're saying it's hard to keep pets company and don't go on the football field. And not anyone. Outsiders.
Yeah, outsiders are not allowed on the football field.
Who's an outsider?
Exactly. It's like it sounds like a bit of an elitist when you read the bio.
Yeah.
Firstly, it's like, does not like pets. And also, like, only footballers are allowed on the field.
Yeah. Also, it's hard to keep pets company. Red Cross, which I left out.
Yeah.
Like, it's... That sounds like 2 of his pets have died.
Yeah. Actually, maybe we're taking this the wrong way. Maybe it is just very sad.
It's hard to keep pets company.
Dead.
Yeah. Outsiders are
It's
not
not
allowed
allowed
on
on
the
the football
football field.
Maybe so maybe it's either like his pet accompanied him on the football field once and died, then it happened again, and so it's just like it's like outsiders are not allowed on the football field.
Yeah,
They're not allowed.
not allowed.
They're not allowed on the football field. It's hard to keep pets company.
It is really hard. They want so much from you, pets.
But now console yourself with a very reasonably priced latte.
Yeah. You'd expect it to be way more expensive, but actually it's just reasonably priced.
We're not going to sting you if you just lost a pet. Don't worry about
that.
Yeah.
It's a discount. If you've just lost a pet, you get a cheap latte.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like there's someone at the door. They're just like, so just before you go in, just checking, have you had a pet that's died recently?
Yeah. You have?
You have?
Okay. So make sure you show the barista your card here, because that's going to give you 25% off.
If you don't have a card, a photo of that dead pet is fine.
Show the barista a photo of your dead. That is horrific.
Horrific. We've turned something beautiful that Son's created into we flipped it's the upside down, and it's just horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, horror film, Spurs play. It's like Pet Cemetery, but it's called Pet Cafe, and the people that run it, they want to see photos of dead pets.
Yeah. Imagine seeing that as the tagline. It's hard to keep pets company. Outsiders not allowed on the football field. You'd be like, that's intriguing.
That's like, this is going to be scary.
Yeah, this is going to be real rough.
All right. Should we do some questions?
Question time, yeah.
Okay, I'll read the first one. So this is from Spurs fan. This is from the Discord?
This is from the Discord. Spurs fan on the Discord.
Okay. Hey, guys. How long until the likes of Decky and Johnson bring out the A-League in Ange and we get a shoot fucking thrown... What?
Shoot fucking. I think like Aussie slang for like a shoot fucking, pass fucking.
Oh, thrown on the pitch.
Yeah. So it's like, are we going to have Decky, Johnson, and, Son just walking around, like, throwing in, just dropping F-bombs around all over the place?
Okay, so their on-pitch dialogue is going to change to be like, fucking shoot.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah,
because it's
like, dog.
I was going to say, for people who aren't in Australia, like, when you go and do play, community sport, local sport, or even probably in, A-League and stuff like that, there's a lot of, like, expletives used. But I don't think that's necessarily unique to Australia either. That's probably the case everywhere. But I think the phrase, like, shoot fucking would be maybe a little bit more unique. I really wonder, like, how much they embrace that. Because you think maybe listening to Andrew's press conferences that he might not swear because he seems so like reserved all the time. But then you see him nutting it on the sidelines, and the clips we've heard of his team talks, he does swear in those.
Naughty.
Did you say naughty?
Naughty boy.
Just imagine someone responding when Ange is giving a team talk, and like he's like, "Oh, you fucking little bubble," and he's like, "Naughty." Not allowed to swear at me, Ange.
Is shoot fucking a saying?
Yeah,
fucking shoot.
Nah, like fucking at the end. Yeah. I've heard that before. Shoot fucking or pass fucking or like I've definitely heard that used.
All right. Whatever you say.
I think soon. I think all the players. I would love this so much that like other sports have done it, and I think some footballers have done it. I think Jan Vertonghen did one. Would have been Anderlecht, I guess, where he was mic'd up for the full game.
Oh yeah.
And they played clips of that. I would love to get more of that for Premier League. I don't think like they could broadcast it live. And I'm like, then they're going to edit out all this stuff anyway. So Spurs play would just have like the tamest little version of it at the end. But it would be really fascinating to hear like the level of just, I guess, what teammates say to each other, but then also what they're saying to the opposition as well.
Yeah. I'd love it on like a player like Serge Aurier or Vlad Kirikesh or who else is maybe in that realm? maybe Eric Dyer these days. The whole thing is just like, what is going on? How did I get here?
Yeah.
What the hell?
He's
That would
moving.
be, yeah.
Okay.
Should I check?
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if everyone else has tight laces, or is it just me?
Yeah. Love that. I would love that.
It's like Dyer was doing it and just became too conscious of what was happening, and they're just like, "Look, Eric, we're going to put the mic on you. You just need to play the game, pretend it's not here, pretend it's not here." It's like on a film set if you see like an extra who's never done it, and they're just like, "All right, just go in there, just act normal, just like don't do anything," and it's just like over the top stiff movements or just looking and staring at things, and it's just the same with Dyer the whole time.
Yeah. Could happen. I like to watch the cinemas. I like to run the movie club. I don't like to be involved on the commentary.
So, well, the promotions here, they've already paid up. The sponsorship's in. You've seen the sort of sponsorship Romero's taken these days.
Yeah.
Right? He's got his future. He's getting paid.
He's got to write a diary on his watch. This is the least you could do.
Yeah, should be easy for you, Eric. Come on.
Yeah, come on, mate. The next question is from dear friend Golden Angel, Young Focus. With Tottenham's recent injuries and absences, I feel like we are the quintessential 3 children in an overcoat trying to buy alcohol, bobbing around with flimsy arms. If we have been children in an overcoat, whose head has been poking out of the top with oversized shades, and who's been holding it all together at the bottom?
Great.
Great question.
Great, superb question. Did you want to answer this first?
Sure. Whose face goes at the top?
With the oversized shades.
With the oversized shades. I'm going to say, God, who? James Maddison.
I guess you want someone who looks old. You don't want a baby face.
No, and to me, he looks much older than he is. Like, I'm shocked at how young he is. Oh, James Maddison.
It cut out. Oh, James Maddison. Okay, cool. It cut out just when you said the exact name. Okay. James Maddison. Yeah. You're saying he looks older than he is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not in a bad, like he doesn't, he doesn't look like aged. He just looks older than 26.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of like the 30 plus pros, you know, who's been in league a while. It's, you know, not a bad face, just like a slightly more weathered than a young buck.
And then I think
also James Maddison would be a great shout because I was just going to say James Maddison's a great shout because he's also got the gift of the gab. So he's going to be able to absolutely talk his way out of any hurdles that come up when he's trying to buy that alcohol.
That's part of it. He's also not afraid of breaking the law. At Leicester, he had a lockdown party. So I feel like, you know, he's a seasoned con artist, criminal. So I think that'll be fine.
Great. And who do we have down the bottom?
Down the bottom? Well, I think Hugo is in the middle because he needs something to do. He's not happy about it, but he's there. I think he would constantly be going, "A stinky! It stinks here."
So, but they're like on top, like, Hugo, shut up! You got to be quiet.
Yeah, stop! And he's going, "Oh,
stinky!"
Yeah, that's what I think. And on the bottom, I'm gonna go with Vicario. He's going, "Shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does it Vicario? So I guess the flimsy arms would come from Hugo. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
From the middle there. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. And yeah, Vicario. And just the power, like it's somewhat of a power move from Hugo there.
Yeah, he's trying to win anyway.
Like he's like, "Oh, look, yeah, I'm above you, Vicario, here, and I'm just going to ruin this experience. This could be a lovely little overcoat day for us all, but I'm just going to complain the whole time.
Yeah. He ruins it.
I
Who you
heard
go
something the
with?
other day. I heard Hugo's actually apparently a trained pianist.
Of course he is.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Yeah, of course. What does it mean to be
That's
trained?
interesting. I guess it's just like you've practiced a lot. I guess
Official training.
I
on the
didn't delve
piano?
too much further into the fact there. It's like I don't think he's like a concert pianist playing at, playing halls and things like that. But apparently he's just supposed to be pretty handy on the keys.
Actually, I changed. Sorry to go back, but I changed the bottom person from Vicario to Van de Ven. In case they need to get out real quick.
I was going to say, you could get out of there extremely quickly. That's great.
Yeah. Do you have
probably the optimum combination?
Yeah, I think I've chosen. Do you want to have a crack, or do you think I've nailed it too much that you can't possibly compete?
Can you please use that anytime that you ask me a question after you've answered something moving forward?
Or if I'm like, and Dan, what do you think? Do you really want to answer, or do you think I've nailed it and it's impossible to compete?
It's just such I love the move. You could have a crack at it if you want to, but pretty sure we can all agree that the question's been answered very sufficiently.
There's no way of answering that question. People think questions are subjective. There's not a defined answer. Well, this is almost like a maths problem where I have actually just answered it the best it can be answered.
Yep. Join us next week when Barney hosts his quiz show where he it's just making himself look smarter than all the guests.
Just like subjective questions about my life. What is my favorite flavor of yogurt?
Yeah.
And then regardless of the answer, I go, no, it's actually just vanilla.
Yeah. Do you want to have another crack at it? Or
yeah,
we agree that's probably going to be the best answer?
Vanilla. That used to be it. It's changed. Boysenberry.
That's great. Look, I'm not going to answer that now. I don't think.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't think I can. You've nailed it. You've nailed it perfectly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the question, Spurs fans
Yes.
and Young Focus.
Yes.
If anyone else has a question, please jump on Discord.
We love them.
We love them so much. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to drop a comment with a question below. We'll take questions through whatever means they get to us.
Yep, that's right. Yell at us on the street.
Yeah, come to Australia and yell at us on the street.
Or if you're already here, just, Dan, what's your address?
I live in... Oh, well, no, we're out of time. Oh,
okay. No. Thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it very much. Dan will post his address on our Patreon. And
do you know, as a joke, I was going to say your address, but then I was like, no, hang on, no, that's bad. That's still.
That would be bad.
Don't give that out.
Not that anyone that listens to this would have nefarious motives. It just.
Imagine I could say your address, Barney, and you just get a horde of presents from people.
Perhaps. Or perhaps, someone would check it out, realize that I've got a lot of livestock. Report me. And
for an inner city location, that is not what you're supposed to have.
Yeah. I got 60 llamas.
So I'm impressed. Where do you even get one llama these days?
I bred them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a long process, I think, to get from one or two up to 60. So that's very impressive.
I've been working hard.
This is your life's work.
Yeah. Anyway, come on, you Spurs. My name has been Barney.
My name has been Dan.
All right. Who knows if there are real names or where we live. Thank you for listening. See you next time.